Okay, I said that I had that experience going up to see my grandfather when I graduated from college, and I saw what I heard was apparently a photon leak 8 years ahead of time, a hit song by the group Talking Heads. I heard that song in 1975, and it didn't come out till 1983. It wasn't even written in 1975. So, I'm not saying this morning that summer I stayed with my grandfather for a few days. And up there at the same time as this other kid who's 16 and he has a nose exactly like my grandfather's. What's he doing there anyway? I'm staring at that guy's name. What is this? I didn't say anything, but anyway, I guess that was another of Nuno's sons. And guess who else was one of his sons? Me. Well, when I was up there, one of those nights, I was watching on his little TV this movie, which was one of the scariest science fiction movies I've ever seen. It was really distinctive because the movie was about how these, I guess they were aliens, were controlling human beings. How? This was way back in around the early 1960s that I saw this. What these aliens were doing was they had like a cassette, like this, a little smaller. And what they did was they operated on a human's back of his neck, and they would slide that cassette into the hole they put there, and it would snap in, and then they could control that human being electronically by the hook they had in the person electronically in the back of their neck, okay? To me, this was absolutely through the roof scary. I was watching that movie there. I think my cousin was staying with me. I don't think he was watching. I just remember watching like alone. And we were just in this tiny room together. The house only had 3 rooms. My grandfather's bedroom, the kitchen, and the little room we were in was like a living room, parlor type thing. And, well, years later, certain movies, I decided I wanted to find out what they were that I'd seen as a kid. And so there was this book, I think it was called Movie Hound. And I bought a copy. And it had descriptions of movies from different perspectives, like a summary, who was in the movie, and so on. You could try to find movies with this book. It was very helpful. And I found the movie, for example, Beyond the Time Barrier. That's a movie I'd seen at Bethesda Movie Theater when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. It made a lasting impression on me, so I wanted to go back and see what was the name of that movie so I could get a copy. Now, I don't want to go off on tangents, but I remember seeing that movie in color. And I got a VHS of the movie, and that got damaged through, just normal usage. The tape got caught, so it got destroyed. So I bought a DVD, and both are in black and white, but I distinctly remember seeing that movie in color. So that is also another problematic memory of mine where I'm going to say that I might have seen like an alternate reality version of that, a photon leak of that movie, where it's in color. Now, if somebody says, wait a minute, the only copies left of that are black and white, but you're right, it was in color. But I haven't seen that anywhere online or anything. So, well, anyway, the main thing here is the scary movie I saw at my grandfather's house that one night. I never saw that again on TV. And I tried to look it up in this movie hound book, and I couldn't find it. And, you know, beyond the time barrier, that was a major find. Because, you know, I had no idea what the title was, and I found that movie. But this particular movie, with the electrode in, kind of like an electronic something or other, it looks like what we know as a cassette now. At that time in the early 60s, there was no such thing yet. There were no cassettes of any kind. So this little cassette is being snapped into the back of a person's neck. I'm telling you, that scared the hell out of me, that movie. So, I haven't been able to find it, so I'm saying I've already seen that a trip up to that grandfather's, when I graduated from college, resulted in me experiencing what I'm saying I've seen described online as what must have been a photon leak from an alternate reality in a parallel universe. So this movie must have been in an alternate reality, and I saw an entire movie as a photon leak up at that grandfather's house. That's what I'm saying this morning, that I believe that movie doesn't exist in this reality at all. It's not here at all. I haven't been able to find it. Extensively searching online, looking through that movie hound book. I had a copy. It's now in probably the Colorado Springs dump, where I threw all my book collection. But or a lot of my book collection. Some of it's I threw into the Bethesda dump. I mean the Montgomery County dump. Well, there it is. Another experience of mine of an alternate reality. Today is the 9th of May, 2026. Right now it's 9:18 a.m. Let me add this footnote. I eventually got a pinched nerve right where that electrode snapped into the back of the neck of those characters, let's call them, in the movie I saw back then. This cassette that snapped into the back of their neck. When I got older, I got a pinched nerve right there that I've suffered from ever since, even to the present day. And I'm just noticing that happened. Now, is there any connection at all? I'll have to think more about that, but for now, I just want to make this footnote that there is a bizarre association occurring to me now as an old man, that this movie, probably from an alternate reality, may have a reminder in my present reality through that injury to the back of my, I guess it's the back of my neck, that injury to my neck. That lifelong injury to my neck. I can't resist making this additional footnote. You know how the scriptures often describe the Jewish or Hebrew people as a stiff-necked people? Okay? Well, where did I get this injury to my neck, or at least where did it become apparent? So that the pain, the first time I injured this pinched nerve was just, oh my God, indescribable, it's incredible. Like being shocked. I don't. I can't describe it. It immobilized me. It was a horrifically painful experience. I can't. There's no words because just nothing like the pain. Okay, so where did this happen? It happened at the church gym of the church where my Aunt Rosemary was a Catholic school teacher for over 50 years. That's where this injury happened. And it happened in a symbolic moment that kind of looks like Christ crucified with two thieves. What happened? I'm Christ, and I go up for this rebound fighting between two African American guys. And they twist that and grab that ball down that yanks my neck and I'm in like 5 minutes of just agony. And I was pretty much blinded by the pain, and some folks walked me to some person who apparently had medical knowledge of some kind and was examining me. But that ended my football career, that injury. Now, maybe I already had the injury. I don't know if I acquired it that night or finally I injured it in such a way that I made the pinched nerve even worse, so that now I couldn't play football at all. And well, anyway, what I want to say is, I've said at other times that if you build something on bad measurements, whatever you build is not going to last. It's not going to hold up, right? So I was trying to build my life on the idea that I was a Christian. Okay, but I wasn't. I was Jewish in descent and in belief as well. I've explained in great detail how I never prayed or even used the word Jesus. Jesus Christ, I just didn't. And I didn't realize that there was anything abnormal about that. I just thought that, oh, today it doesn't matter what your ideas about these things are. It makes no difference. Everybody has their own point of view. But that's not how I eventually came around in life to deciding that, wait a minute, it is important what my view of the Lord is. And I want to finally declare when I'm around 65 that I am not a Christian and I am Jewish in my belief as well as dissent. So there I was, finding that my measurement of reality had been wrong. Okay, I had thought that it was okay to just live as a Christian, being called a Christian, and reality corrected me right there. Well, there's my footnote. As I want to say here, this grandfather of mine, who turns out to be my biological father, is Jewish in descent. And I have these bizarre experiences when I'm going to see him or when I'm staying with him that look like experiences of an alternate reality. And I just want to comment that I'm aware of these things now in my old age. Bye for now. Okay, Sayaka. I just woke up. Okay, let me see what time it is, because I was recording the time earlier, and I'll be able to understand more what happened to me when I check the time out here. I don't know if you can see that, but the time is 10:28 a.m. now. I was making some recordings, and I made one and put it online saying, I just ate this little, let's call it Hispanic food, about this big. I was getting knocked out. Well, after I made that video and put it online, I revived a little. Maybe because the bad guy let up on me. And then I made myself a breakfast and ate it out on the porch of our house, and I recorded that, make thoughts I was having. And then after I made that video, I started to get knocked out again. I came up here to my, let's call this my Jewish hideout in our attic where I'm kind of living. And I was working on something to do with that recording I'd made out on the front porch, and I fell asleep, and there's the phone. You know, it fell from wherever I was holding it. There it is, number 5 phone. It fell there. I just found it. I woke up, and I'm pretty woozy right now. I am exhausted. You know, like I said, my head is heavy, my legs are heavy, and I just woke up, and I don't remember going to sleep. So I was saying to myself, did I know I was going to sleep? No, I didn't, because there's the phone over there. It fell out of my hands, and I fell asleep. I got knocked out after eating. And it's going to take me a while to recover now. I'm just totally, where are the words? I'm totally under the influence of the weaponry that's been bombarding my head, I guess, to knock me out this way. Bye for now. One more quick footnote under the influence here. I'm just so totally woozy, and I don't know how to describe myself. Anyway, because I was raped while asleep, I've said, I give the impression to everybody universally that I'm lying. I'm putting something over on others. I'm flim-flamming. There's not a thing that I ever say that isn't a fake. So I'm a fake Jew. I'm a fake American. I'm a fake reporter on reality. I'm a faker when it comes to my YouTubes. There isn't anything that I'm not faking. When I use a cane, because my legs are in pain, I can hardly walk, I'm faking that too. There isn't anything I can do where I'm not faking. Well, let me conclude with this. I tell you, I can hardly stand up right now, but I want to conclude with a humorous conclusion here. Remember in the movie North by Northwest where, Roger Thornhill, played by Cary Grant, is saying to that spy who's trying to kill him, right? He says, the spy's saying, oh, first you play the Madison Avenue executive who's being mistaken for a spy, and now you're going to play the peevish lover who's upset by the betrayal he experiences at the hand of the femme fatale consort of me, your arch enemy. These are approximate quotes, okay? And Roger Thornhill, Cary Grant, he answers, I guess you think everything I do is acting, right? And, I guess the only role you'll find convincing for me to be playing is when I play dead. And the spy answers, your very next role, I can assure you, and you're going to be very convincing.